Hello everybody, how's it going? This is your captain speaking, and in today's episode of Minecraft Talks, I will be building a tower. So, I remember in a previous episode I mentioned how I was going to build an observatory on top of the creeper farm that would rival something that you would see in LA, like their observatory. I'll actually throw a picture of that up on the screen real quick, just to give you an idea. So I really like that idea, but I've decided to go a different route, and I was kind of in the mood to make some European towers. Well, not necessarily European, just towers in general, and I drew inspiration from just towers you'd see in Europe. I'll talk about that a little more. So, for this project, hello. I will not look towards there, because you will see it later in the video. But I decided to retrofit our friend's old house, since he rarely gets on anymore. And I thought this is a good space to put what I want in here. So, Ace is being crazy. For this build, I needed a lot of wax. I got a lot of wax, banal. So about this little automatic bee farm, pretty useful. I can switch it to honey bottles, and with that, I can also get blocks of honey, which are good for flying machines and all that jazz. And I also have this chicken farm, which is doing its job very well. So, this is for something else I shouldn't say yet. But, without further ado, I'm trying to kind of get our episodes down a little bit in time. So, with that, let's just hop into it. Alright, so we're doing a little voiceover again today. So this will just be showing the process of kind of me laying the foundation to everything. And like I said, I based this off a little European tower. I'll show that up on the screen right now. So this tower is actually located in Germany. And I really like the clock and everything. I'll show a bigger picture of the station, kind of give everything. But yeah, I thought that this tower kind of lended well to my ideas of what I had, as I really wanted to use these kind of elaborate window designs that I saw on Pinterest, and that kind of it kind of had kind of those window designs above the clock tower. So I went for that and drew heavy inspiration from that. So again, this is the German tower. It's from the west of Germany, and it kind of looks like it takes a little inspo from the what's that called? After the Great Schism, the Orthodox Church. They had these round roofs, and it kind of has a little bit of that going on. So I decided to take some inspo from that. But yes, here you can see I have the foundation of the tower pretty much laid. It goes bricks into granite, to polished granite, the blocked copper, and then full copper blocks. So yeah. So here's me designing those windows that I kind of wanted to add. And I ended up stacking two of them on top of each other and kind of making my own design, as the dimensions of the tower weren't necessarily conventional for what the original windows were supposed to be, which is honestly perfect because I get to kind of problem solve, and I like doing that. So I ended up having these windows kind of stagger, so the bottom is a little bit wider than the top, which draws your eye up towards the roof, which is all very much on purpose. Decorating with signs. If in doubt, put a sign. It makes it look better. So yeah, been doing that. The top of the tower is 7x7, while the base is 9x9. So the towers ended up being, I believe, 30 blocks high on the 9x9 part, and then the 7x7 part up to the top of the roof is 11 blocks. So I tried to make it dimensionally attractive. I don't know if I necessarily succeeded, but just wanted everything to be proportional. So there's the finished facade of one, and here it is all completed at the top. So this is before I did any of the texturing. Obviously there's a bunch of oxidized copper that I needed to wax, which is why I made that bee farm. But coming back here, we have the clock part. So I spent a decent amount of time in a creative testing world kind of figuring this one out, as, I don't know, I never really built a clock, and it was kind of big. Luckily I had a decent amount of space to kind of work around with it, and I got a pretty good looking clock out of it. Again, taking inspo from Pinterest. I think that's a given at this point. Ouch. Good silhouette of the tower. You know, I think if you have a good silhouette, your build will kind of look good because that means it has a good form. Going in closer, you get to see all the details and everything that make it all what it is. But again, that silhouette is part of the builds, and I wanted it to be good. So that clock giving it more form, that was very much a reason why I wanted that clock in the first place. Kind of broke up the just straight rectangle of it all, because it was just a giant rectangle. So now I'm going back in and waxing all of the blocks on the inside. I built this without any wax to my name, so in my infinite wisdom I decided to do that and come back and wax it through. It was kind of a long process, but I got it done. And now here I decided to start texturing. So again, this is really my first time ever doing a gradient build on this scale. So I'm kind of learning as I go, and it's not necessarily the best texturing I could have done, but it's better than just the blocks that I had. It turns out being kind of wavy too, and I fixed this a little bit, but the waves definitely do look better than the straight lines that it was previously. And this process just pretty much involved a lot of me doing work, stepping back. How does this look? How does it look from a distance? How does it look up close? Coming back and tweaking, rinse and repeat on basically 2 of the 4 sides. I did texture all 4 sides, but since the other sides aren't really going to be seen that often, I was just like, whatever. If it doesn't look perfect, so be it. I want it to look good from my view and from HL Minds. So yeah, I decided that it was easier to kind of work on everything from the inside of the tower, because, you know, I have access to all 4 sides minus the corners. So that's kind of what I did. Made it a hell of a lot easier, honestly, as I just used the scaffolding. Shout out to scaffolding. You know, I know there's scaffolding gang and dirt gang, but I think I'm on the side of scaffolding now. So here's at the bottom looking up, getting everything the proper color. I kind of think this brick section's a little big, but you don't really see it when you're down below, as like it's kind of covered by the base, and your eye is naturally drawn towards the clock and the roof, so it kind of works out. And again, I want it to be a little lighter at the top, a little darker at the bottom, and this gradient is what did it for me. So, a few different views of the tower just walking around. Again, I think it looks pretty good over there. And yeah, this is from HL Minds' view. I did do some work on that, but overall, really happy how it turned out. And yeah, so I think now is the time I'll pass it back to outro me. Peace. Okay, so as you could see, the tower came along pretty well. I'll go ahead and hop on Ace here, where we left off from the intro. Right on out. Here we are. As you can see, it looks pretty cool from like many different angles. Maybe I'll run around the map and kind of just show everything. Imagine you're leaving from this house. Let's say you went and visited the smoothies over here, and you just go walking along the path, and boom, you get the silhouette. I think the silhouette's really cool from the top. And the tower comes into view, which is pretty cool there. So I don't know if I exactly showed it all in the time lapse, but from right here I decided to kind of blend in this oxidized copper palette and blend in these blocks here. And kind of just help round out the corners. I think from a distance that looks pretty cool, as it kind of frames the clock as well. And originally this right here was going to be kind of these full blocks, but I like the clock idea. It breaks it up a lot better than what it used to be. So let's go ahead and run around here. I'm going to have to ditch Ace. I will lose you forever. Unless, nope, you're in the river now. And you get just different views of the tower. So like over here, it's all the same. It's all the same on every single front, which is pretty nice. Maybe from over here, from the bees, you know, it just looks cool. And if you haven't, check out HL Mines' new episode. He built this little treehouse. I love this little frame of how he's built everything up. All of his builds are in one central spot. I think it looks really cool. On the contrary, mine are many different areas, so you don't really get like a good snapshot like that. But regardless, let's say you're walking down this path, you go to the side, and boom, tower appears. I think it's just a really good backdrop piece, which is what it's meant to be. It's not meant to be really viewed from up front, which is kind of why I went for this gradient. My first time doing a gradient, so let me know how I did. There's definitely room to improve, as with everything. So now that we're at the base, you can kind of see everything here. You can see the gradient. Gradients are meant to be viewed from a distance, but up close, this is obviously our creeper farm, and I'm thinking, you know, we haven't even beat the end dragon yet, so when we do and get elytras, we will need rockets. Since this is already a gunpowder farm, I'll probably just make this a sugarcane farm. It's a big empty tower. So yeah, that's pretty much it though. This is the tower up close, so I'm really happy with how it turned out. Go and jump away. And I'll go over here real quick, and I'll be right back. So yeah, now back on Ace, back to the house that we retrofitted, and just overall cool views of the tower. I like that this will just be in the background of the videos from now on. I think it's really kind of fitting. Oops. And again, it's not meant to be viewed from up close. Fortunately, we do have this spawn platform there. I will turn that into glass, make it a little less prevalent. But regardless, now whenever you're walking around, you always have a cool backdrop, and it just kind of shows like the splendor. And I've found kind of a building style that I'm starting to enjoy. Of course, this could always change, but like these old antiquated towers and buildings, you can kind of see like here. Like this is kind of what the vibe of these buildings are. And I wanted to add statues in these little slots right here. But I was thinking, when you go away, I'm pretty sure statues don't render in, so it would be pointless, as the tower's never meant to be viewed up close. It's always meant to be viewed far away. So yeah, that's about it. So I will kind of back away as the tower slowly fades away. So yeah, if you've all enjoyed this episode, please feel free to leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Again, check out HL Mines if you haven't. He makes great content and is the other person on the server that really creates and makes things. So go check out HL Mines is what I want to say. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. As always, I will see you in the next episode. Ciao, ciao. What the fuck is this here skeleton noise? Oh god, there's a creeper. Let's blast him. Let's blast the skelly boy. Alright. Let's go in here, clear the building. Oh god!